those questions after the panel discussion. So let's begin with a techno-commercial presentation by Mr. Habibul Jek, who is the Senior Product Manager from Sineng Electric Company Limited. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, Ms. Twinkle. My PPT is visible to you?
Yes, sir. Can you make it full screen, please?
Yes. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. It is a great honor to attend this conference with you all, PV expert. And in the presentation, I will be talking about module development background, trend, and implication on inverter module interface with increased wafer size very briefly. I will also be introducing our string inverter solution tailored for high density module. And I will also talk about the central inverter compatibility as well. Last but not least, I will give some insight on our Bangalore manufacturing base and available solutions for inverter and energy storage. So to keep up with the lower bidding price year by year, penetration of large wafer 182 or 210 millimeter will accelerate in 2022, and the module production based on large wafer will dominate in the following years. Let's take a look back on basics of module production. Basically, silica is crystallized, and after a long process, we get cell. So cells are later assembled into module, then it is used in the system. As you can see on the screen, in the mid of 1990 to 2020, we can see a clear growth in wafer size. In literature or in PV Tech, these wafers are named as MO, M3, M4, M6. These are the most popular wafer size in last decades or half. But today's presentation focus goes to latest M10 and M12, whose size are 182 and 210 millimeter respectively. Manufacturing high density module with 182 or 210 millimeter wafer, different kinds of module technology being used like PARC AC, multi-bus bar, half cut, 1/3 cut, etc. Some manufacturers are even using 7th generation PARC technology. Apart from those, we also see variation in cell gap. A small gap and zero gap is being used by some key players. And for this, there are some related CTM loss as well, namely the cell to module loss. To understand the power increment with the increment of wafer size, we need to take a step back into the basics of PV physics. PV cell is a current source. When sunlight comes into the cell, the photon collides with the electron, and electron will flow the less resistance path and flow through cables. The number of the electrons generated is directly proportional to the irradiance. So PV cell is a radiance controlled current source. Current can be increased by either increasing the irradiance or the cell area. So we can say large the cell area, larger the current. Though the cell area increase, but the voltage remains same due to the half cut technology. Vendors basically cut not only the cell into half, but modules too. Series connected half cut cells are connected in parallel, thus the voltage get reduced. On the left hand side, we can see the current increment with different rating modules, and it goes beyond 15 ampere. And with rear side gain of bifacial module, it reaches up to 20 or 22 ampere. For utility project, the system voltage is 1500 volt. We don't connect modules in parallel because that would lead to higher current, and cable loss will be higher. We connect them in series. So in series connected string design, what has priority, VOC or ISC? In VOC higher and ISC less case, less parallel module connection and more series connection will lead to lower BOS cost in the form of less combiner box, less cable, less land occupation, etc. For a 3.125 megawatt block, we can see the differences. Less module will lead to less land cost, cabling, and so on and so forth, reduction of other cost. Considering the BOM and LCOE, 182 millimeter or 210 millimeter wafer will give more benefits. The number of the large wafer based module is needed less than a small wafer based module, and other costs like mounting, screwing, pile foundation, combiner box, installation, cabling, and land cost will also be reduced. The overall capex will be minimized in this way, which in return will give optimized LCOE. The total BOS cost will be reduced 5 to 7% in regards to different application scenario and project sizes. For module or inverter, we usually look into two values. First one is IMPP and second one is ISC. As the current of wafer increased 9% with 166, 28% with 182, and 75% with 210 millimeter wafer, existing inverter solution had faced some problem with it, and that is the limit of the short circuit current and MPPT current or operating current of the inverter. MPPT current limitation of the inverter, actually what does it really means to inverter? When the current of string for string inverter or array for central inverter will exceed the MPPT current limit, then it will move the MPPT knee point down to the lower part of the curve, and because of that, power will be clipped. Though the inverter will with the lower MPPT current rating will operate, but we cannot harness maximum power from the string or array, and ultimately we will lose some power. So to get rid of this problem, Sinang has come up with a state-of-art solution, which is tailored for high power module, 275 kilowatts, high current inverter. Maximum output power is 275 kilowatts. Maximum current of each string input is 20 ampere, and it has 12 MPPT, total 24 string. With the evolving PV technology, Sinang Electric inverter technology has also been evolved over the years. 50 to 175 to 250 kilowatt, and now 275 kilowatt. 275 kilowatt inverter can work with all kinds of wafer size module, 166, 182, or 210 millimeter wafer, as you can see on the screen. As the maximum short circuit current of the central inverter is higher, there is no constant in array designing with high power module. However, input fuse and breaker rating of combiner box need to be adjusted. Along with that, the DC input fuse rating will also need to be adjusted. Sinang Electric currently has 3 manufacturing bases. 2 are located in China. 1 is located in Bangalore, India. Wuxi and Ningxia manufacturing base has 10 gigawatt annual manufacturing capacity. At the moment, Bangalore factory has 3 gigawatt annual manufacturing capacity. However, a 10 gigawatt brand new modern manufacturing base will be put into its full operation by Q4 of 2021. Out of 10 gigawatt, 8 gigawatt will be used for central inverter production line, and 2 gigawatt will be used for string inverter production line. And the manufacturing base is likely to be launched by this month. More than 2 gigawatt inverter have been manufactured in Bangalore manufacturing base so far, and the manufacturing base is equipped with all kinds of testing facility for pre-burning, burning, and post-burning tests. To better serve the local clients, Sinang Electric has established 4 service centers near to the solar park. They are located in Rajasthan, Gujarat, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh. Sinang Electric mainly provides its product in 4 different areas. They are PV inverter, energy storage, power quality products, and control and monitoring. In central inverter solution, we have products ranging from 1 megawatt to 3.125 megawatt. In central distributed inverter solution, we have products ranging from 1 megawatt to 3.15 megawatt. In string inverter solution, we have products ranging from 3 kilowatt to 275 kilowatts. All of this solution has integrated solution. Integrated solution is also available. In energy storage solution, we have central PCS solution of 2.5, 3.15, and 3.45 megawatts. String PCS solution of 200 kilowatt, DC-DC converter of 182 kilowatt, and battery container solution. All are 1500 volt solution and has higher conversion efficiency. Using string PCS and DC-DC converter solution, pack level management is possible, which helps to effectively harness the maximum power. And I have come to an end of this presentation. Thanks all of you for your kind attention. Over to you, Ms. Twinkle.
Thank you, sir, for the valuable